He is telling her that she needs to make it right or else. To the special reading. At the end of this reading, it will be on my Patreon, well, my version of Patreon, and the link is in my bio. Get all these videos, extra content and fun extra stuff about manifestations, also about kind of like what we can learn from celebrities, hot topics and so forth. So it's a lot of fun. Yeah, so today I am going to be talking about Chrissy Teigen. I'm going to be doing an update. Most of what I alleged in my last video has come true. The reading that I did, I said that more sponsorships are going to drop her. I said that she would say sorry. I said that she wouldn't actually be sorry. In my opinion, I don't think she's actually sorry, because the people who she says she's apologized to say that she hasn't. So I want to dive deeper and find out why she hasn't apologized, and if there's a chance for her to have a second chance. I also did say in my last video that she would have some apparel, some yoga apparel and stuff coming out. I do predict that still. I do see that happening. But her response, you know, is very interesting to me. I'm not one to judge. I feel as though that's up to God to judge. But when you send messages to teenagers telling them to kill themselves, we have a real problem on our hands. And you can like her, whatever, that's your prerogative, but we complain about bullying. When it happens to us, we feel a certain way. When it happens to other people, I feel like, especially kids, we just ignore it. An example of this is when I was younger. I mean, I had a few teachers that were inappropriate with me, but I had one particular male teacher, my last year of high school, who was inappropriate with me. And when I would tell people, you know, it was in the beginning phases, you know, when you are being courted and when you are being when a predator's coming onto you, you have a feeling about it. So I went to a few of my teachers, and I went to other adults, and I told and some of my friends at the time, and I told them, you know, I feel like he's being inappropriate with me, this particular teacher, because I had to have after school. Basically, I was the head of oratory, and I had to have meetings with him. And when I had one-on-one meetings, private meetings with him, I felt him being very inappropriate with me, like sitting very close to me, kind of looking at my legs and stuff like that. So I literally had one of my peers say to me, hey, he hasn't touched you, so what's your problem? And I was like, whoa. I mean, I think we've come a long way, but every time I feel like we've come a long way, then we hear stories like this about Chrissy Teigen literally sending a 16-year-old a message to kill herself, and how most people keep saying, oh, it was in the past, let it go. And I think when we like somebody, I mean, I've never been a fan of Chrissy Teigen, and when we like somebody, I think sometimes we put them on such a pedestal that they are immune. We think that they are immune to certain circumstances. I think we all do it. That's why it's important to hold one another accountable. And yeah, so that's my little preface. So this is alleged unless it has come true. When it comes true, I will let you know. Most of my predictions are correct. Doesn't mean that this one is. It is intuitive based. It is not fact based, so please don't treat it as such. Okay, so I pulled up her past, her present and her future, and I find it very interesting. Like I said before, Chrissy Teigen is Sagittarius. I was actually talking to one of my friends online, and she asked me we're just talking about Sagittarius and Aquarius. I'm Aquarius, so we're just talking about that. I'm not going to give too much of our conversation away because I don't like to put people on the spot like that, but I was just telling her that I haven't had the best experiences with the lots of Sagittarius. Actually, two of my really good friends growing up were Sagittarius, and both of them really backstabbed me. So not saying that all Sagittarius will do that, but I feel like Sagittarius have this, like, especially the women, have this like mean girl way of like making jokes at people and being like, oh, that's a joke, and it's like, it's not funny, you know. And when you tell them, when you confront them, they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to change for other people, you know. And it's like, it's not the other people, it's you. And as an Aquarius, you know, that's something I've had to learn too, because we, our dark side, Aquarius, we have difficulty apologizing for things we think we are entitled to. But when it has hurt a few people, you know, because some people will say it hurts them just to backlash against you, but when it is a common thread that it's hurting people, it's a sign to look inward. Doesn't mean you have to apologize, but it's a time to have some reflection. So for her past, I see, I got the card, I can't control the world, but I control how I choose to perceive it. So I see here very strongly Knight of Swords, Seven of Wands, the Hermit, her being pushed into recluse. Hermit is all about isolation, having to withdraw, thinking, not necessarily thinking because it's not sword energy, but having to be in solace. And I see that very strongly. I don't think her solace is going to come to an end just yet, because the public is very angry with her. And I find it very interesting that the Courtney Starlin thing was the reason why she got quote-unquote cancelled, because, you know, she said she had to delete 60,000 tweets. That's what she literally said. The number is either 65 or 60,000 tweets, because she said a bunch of MAGA people were coming after her. I'm not a political page, I don't want it to be, but I just find it interesting that she didn't take responsibility for tweets she had put out. I had a problem with some of those tweets. She was talking about kids and doing nasty things to children, and that's not okay at all. But again, the lack of accountability, blaming other people when it's really her that needs to say sorry. So with the present, I release my need to be right. I am defenseless and at peace. So I get Ace of Wands, 5 Pentacles, and the Tower. Okay, so a lot is going on behind the scenes. I do not think, and I said this in one of my lives, I do not think that her and John are in a good place right now. And I said this too, I feel like Capricorns will handle a lot in relationships, but when you start to mess with their money, that is when they will have an issue. The bottom of the deck I got was King of Pentacles. So a lot of her, I believe, a lot of her needing to say sorry, needing to do this is coming from him. He is telling her that she needs to make it right or else. So for the future, I get today I consciously choose to think. So in a nutshell, I want to just clarify that I don't think she's sorry. I don't think she's sorry, but because she's very, very stubborn. Sagittarius can be very, very stubborn that I've dealt with. My goodness, very, very stubborn. I mean, I can be stubborn too, but when people tell me around me, hey, like, you need to apologize, then I'm like, okay, fine, I'll apologize. But she's so stubborn that she won't. It's almost where it's at the brink of the end of the relationship. That's how stubborn she is. Because people can tell, they're like, hey, you haven't apologized to this person, you haven't apologized to that person. And the thing is, if you don't want to apologize, nobody is owed an apology. Even though, you know, we say you owe somebody an apology, that's to me just a saying. Nobody owes anybody anything. If she really was sorry, she doesn't need to parade it to the world. She should just do it. So for future, today I consciously choose to think loving thoughts, take compassionate actions, and bring forth peaceful energy. And Page of Cups, I feel like Page of Cups, the Devil. I get these contradictive energies with her. So Page of Cups is like, I want to be a good person, I'm doing charity, I'm being hospitable, I am being a genuinely good person. But then the Devil is the opposite of that. And I feel like my last video, if you didn't watch the last one, I highly recommend watching it, because I talk about how I think a lot of her upbringing and being a model had an impact on her cattiness. Yes, Sagittarius can have that side, but I think what impacted it even more is that, you know, she married this man, John Legend, who is surrounded by other women a lot. She tried to make it seem like she was cool with it, but deep down I think she wasn't. Because if you're so pro-woman, why are you sending primarily other women these kinds of messages to kill themselves? So with the judgment, more is coming. More revelations are on the way. And like I said before in my last video, I feel like we're going to hear stories, more stories of like, she's gonna say she's being a nice person in public, and then we're gonna hear stories of like the maid or the nanny or somebody coming forward and being like, no, she wasn't nice to me, it was all for facade. So with 9 of Swords and the Sun, she has 2 routes she can take. I know I get this 9 of Swords, this state, you know, she had that post about I'm depressed, I'm this, I'm that, and I am not sure if it's genuine or not. That's not my place to say, but I do feel like it is a ploy. It is a ploy to win us over and think, oh my gosh, poor thing. And you know, I really applaud Courtney Stodden for coming forward. In fact, I think she's just so dope. I think we really, I personally have such a respect for Courtney Stodden. I remember when she was younger and people were just going after her, and I found it really weird that older women were attacking this 16-year-old, you know. It made me feel very uncomfortable. And so she said recently, Courtney Stodden said recently, that if Chrissy Teigen was so against bullying, she should start an anti-bullying campaign and really embody that instead of just sitting on a couch and complaining about it. And it's just funny to me that the queen of cancel culture got cancelled herself, you know. And that's why none of us can judge, and that's the judgment that I was talking about, is that our karma always comes back to us, no matter how much money you have, how much. And it works both ways. It works in a positive way if you've put out positive energy and you've done positive work, you've done the shadow work, and it works the other side. If you're playing a facade, if you are not being authentic, one day your true self will be exposed. So with the devil and the wheel, she's got a lot of work to do, and still I do not think she has learned. So 9 of Pentacles, I want to just clarify this 9 of Pentacles, because I feel like it has to do with money. Obviously 9 of Pentacles, Pentacles is money, but I have a feeling that people will not want to work with her moving forward. She's lost a lot of friends. The Tower card represents that to me, is that she's lost a lot of friends, families distance themselves from her. That's not always an indication that they've done something wrong, you know. But in this circumstance, in fact, anytime you're in like a controversial position, you'll end up seeing who your real friends are, especially when you're in Hollywood. Okay, so let's see 9 of Pentacles. Please clarify 9 of Pentacles. Please clarify 9 of Pentacles. So I see that they're planning on moving. Okay. Whew. I see a divorce happening in the next 2 years. I see a divorce between them. I hope their kids will be okay. I mean, having a mother like her, anyways, I hope the kids will be okay. But let's clarify this. 6 of Wands. 6 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 6 of Wands. Because I feel like there's another guy in the picture. 6 of Wands, 6 of Wands, 6 of Wands. Okay, so I see her moving. 2 of Cups represents usually a new relationship. So this either means that they will revive the relationship, her and John, or they are getting a divorce. Because of Magician, 7 of Swords and 6 of Wands, I get this strong feeling that it is more of the latter than it is of the former. And I feel as though with 7 of Swords, he's going to spring it on her, and she's gonna be like, what has just happened? You're trying to divorce me? And it's not gonna go very well. It's gonna be like out of the blue. It's gonna be very sudden. By April 2022 or 2023, but I think by April of next year we're going to find out that they're getting a divorce. So it's 7 of Pentacles and 9 of Cups. She's gonna try to save it. But he, I believe, has checked out. He doesn't want to be in it anymore. It's more of like promotion facade for him at this point. With the Justice and 10 of Swords, he is done with this. I strongly believe John Legend is done in this relationship. The King of Wands, he's going to move on. He's thinking big picture. And I have a strong feeling people have come to him and been like, honey, yo, like, this woman is out of control. I get that strong sense. So who's come to him and told him? I get publicists. People are telling him to leave her. A lot of people are telling him to leave her. Okay. Because she's messing with his money, like I said. Yep. Queen of Pentacles in reverse. They see her as like a bad luck charm, which is horrible. No person should be thought of like that. But again, she needs to take accountability for her actions. So with Ace of Cups and 4 of Pentacles, he's looking out for his future more. And 10 of Cups, 4 of Swords, yeah. So this is done. He's looking to the future, to something else. So that's what I have for you. Like I said, please take this with a grain of salt. A lot of my predictions come true. It doesn't mean this one will come true, but I only say that to say that, you know, this is a chance for us to learn. That's why I use public figures. It's a chance for us to learn, to grow, to heal. I give this preface so that people can change their minds on who they are. And if you know somebody like Chrissy, if you are someone like Chrissy, you can change. You can change. You can humble yourself and apologize and really do the work, because in the age of Aquarius, the truth will be revealed. And you know, there's nothing worse, especially when everything is documented, you know, there's nothing worse than us seeing what has happened and having somebody put out a facade of what we're supposed to believe. So hope you enjoy that. I love you all. Take care.